The world watches as Ukraine, locked in a relentless struggle for survival, makes a bold play on the geopolitical chessboard. At the heart of this gamble lies a proposed deal with the United States, one that would grant American companies access to Ukraine's vast reserves of critical minerals. In exchange, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy seeks something more valuable than any resource ironclad security guarantees from the United States. This potential agreement, shrouded in secrecy and fraught with uncertainties, represents a pivotal moment for both nations. For Ukraine, it's a lifeline, a chance to leverage its mineral wealth into a strategic partnership with the world's last superpower. For the United States, it's an opportunity to secure access to vital resources while potentially reshaping the balance of power in Eastern Europe. However, the path to this unlikely partnership is paved with obstacles. Negotiations have been tense, with both sides approaching the table with a mixture of hope and suspicion. The stakes are incredibly high, the potential rewards enormous. The outcome of this high-stakes game will have profound implications, not just for Ukraine and the United States, but for the future of global security. A draft agreement, light on specifics but heavy with implications, outlines the framework for this ambitious partnership. It grants U.S. companies preferential access to Ukraine's reserves of lithium, titanium, rare earth elements, and other critical minerals essential for modern technology. Yet, the most crucial element, the security guarantees sought by Zelenskyy, remains frustratingly vague. The draft mentions future discussions on security arrangements, suggesting a potential fund agreement to address Ukraine's defense needs. However, it lacks concrete commitments, leaving Ukraine vulnerable to future aggression. This ambiguity has raised concerns in Kiev, where memories of past betrayals still linger. The lack of clarity surrounding security guarantees has become a major sticking point in the negotiations. Zelenskyy, acutely aware of the existential threats facing his country, has made it clear that without ironclad assurances of U.S. support, the deal is off the table. The United States, wary of being drawn into another costly conflict, has so far been reluctant to offer explicit security guarantees. This hesitation stems from a desire to avoid entangling alliances and a belief that European nations should bear the primary responsibility for Ukraine's security. Zelenskyy's decision to link Ukraine's mineral wealth to security guarantees is a calculated gamble, a high-stakes wager on the self-interest of the United States. He understands that for Washington, securing access to critical minerals is not just an economic imperative but a strategic necessity. By tying these two issues together, Zelenskyy is forcing the United States to confront a difficult choice. Either provide concrete security assurances to a vulnerable ally sitting on a trove of valuable resources, or risk losing access to those resources altogether. It's a bold move, one that reflects the Ukrainian president's determination to secure his country's future. Zelenskyy's motivations are clear. He needs to bolster Ukraine's defenses against the ever-present threat of Russian aggression. He needs to attract foreign investment to rebuild his war-torn nation. And he needs to secure Ukraine's place in the West, ending its strategic limbo and bringing it firmly into the fold of the Euro-Atlantic community. This deal, if it comes to fruition, has the potential to achieve all of these objectives. It could provide Ukraine with the economic and security guarantees it desperately needs, transforming it from a buffer state into a valued partner. Beneath the fertile plains and rolling hills of Ukraine lies a treasure trove of mineral wealth, a geological jackpot that has attracted the attention of global powers. Estimated to be worth trillions of dollars, these untapped resources have the potential to reshape global supply chains and fuel the technologies of the future. Among Ukraine's most prized assets are its vast reserves of lithium, a key component in batteries for electric vehicles and renewable energy storage. As the world transitions away from fossil fuels, demand for lithium is skyrocketing, making Ukraine's deposits increasingly valuable. In addition to lithium, Ukraine possesses significant reserves of titanium, a lightweight and strong metal used in aerospace, defense, and other high-tech industries. It also has deposits of rare earth elements, essential ingredients in everything from smartphones to wind turbines. These minerals are not merely commodities, they are strategic assets, crucial for maintaining technological leadership and economic competitiveness in the 21st century. For the United States, which is heavily reliant on imports for many of these minerals, securing access to Ukraine's resources is a matter of national security. Section 5. A history of difficult negotiations. The current negotiations over critical minerals are not the first time the United States and Ukraine have found themselves at odds over economic and security matters. The relationship, while often described as a partnership, has been marked by periods of tension, mistrust, and unfulfilled promises. In the aftermath of the 2014 Russian invasion, the United States provided Ukraine with billions of dollars in military and economic aid. However, this assistance came with strings attached, including demands for economic reforms and anti-corruption measures that often clashed with Ukraine's political realities. One particularly contentious episode involved a previous U.S. proposal that would have granted American companies sweeping access to Ukraine's natural resources in exchange for a purported $500 billion in profits. This offer, widely seen in Ukraine as exploitative and lacking in security guarantees, was swiftly rejected. This history of difficult negotiations has cast a long shadow over the current talks. Ukrainian officials, mindful of past experiences, are approaching the negotiations with a mix of hope and caution. They are determined to secure a deal that benefits Ukraine, not one that simply serves American interests. Across the Atlantic, European leaders are watching the unfolding drama between the United States and Ukraine with a mixture of anxiety and hope. They understand that the outcome of these negotiations will have profound implications for European security and the future of transatlantic relations. The potential for a deeper U.S.-Ukraine partnership, while welcomed by some, has also raised concerns about potential U.S. disengagement from Europe. European nations, already grappling with their own security challenges, are wary of being left to deal with a more assertive Russia on their own. In response to these concerns, European nations have stepped up their own support for Ukraine, providing military aid, financial assistance, and diplomatic backing. However, they remain reliant on the United States for leadership and military might, a dependence that has become increasingly uncomfortable in recent years. The critical minerals deal, if it comes to fruition, could further complicate European calculations. It could strengthen Ukraine's ties to the United States, potentially drawing it closer to Washington's orbit and further away from Europe. The critical minerals deal is seen differently by the U.S. and Ukraine. The Trump administration views it as repayment for past U.S. military aid. Trump has said it's time for Kyiv to start paying back. This view aligns with Trump's America First policy. Zelenskyy rejects this, noting bipartisan U.S. support. He argues for a mutually beneficial partnership. This clash highlights differing views on their relationship. Looming over the entire critical minerals deal is the long shadow of Russian aggression. Moscow, which views Ukraine as part of its sphere of influence, has reacted to the proposed agreement with predictable hostility, accusing the United States of seeking to exploit Ukraine's resources and undermine Russia's security. Adding another layer of complexity to the situation is the fact that a significant portion of Ukraine's mineral wealth lies in territories currently under Russian control. The Donbas region in eastern Ukraine is rich in coal, iron ore, and other valuable resources that have been a key driver of the conflict. Russia has made it clear that it will not relinquish control of these territories easily, and it has already begun to integrate them into its own economy. This raises difficult questions about how the United States and Ukraine plan to access and develop these resources without provoking further conflict with Russia. The draft agreement acknowledges this challenge, including provisions that make it difficult for U.S. companies to operate in occupied territories. However, the long-term viability of the deal will depend on finding a way to address the issue of Russian aggression and the control of Ukraine's eastern territories. The proposed critical minerals deal between the United States and Ukraine represents a pivotal moment in their relationship. It could reshape Eastern Europe's geopolitical landscape and secure vital resources for the United States. However, the path forward is fraught with challenges. The lack of security guarantees and the threat of Russian aggression cast a shadow over the deal. The outcome depends on both sides finding common ground. True partnerships require more than transactional deals. Ukraine must navigate a complex geopolitical landscape. The world watches as these partners attempt to deal with profound implications. Only time will tell if this gamble will pay off.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.